Thank you. Good afternoon. This is not just a local issue. It's not just a national issue. It's an international issue. In my various positions in government, I've seen the evil that man is capable of doing to another human being, the degradation of another person. And when I was Attorney General, I traveled to many places on this earth, and of course, I wasn't surprised by the level of human trafficking that I was introduced to in other countries. We've all heard about it, we've all read about it. However, I was surprised by the level of human trafficking that occurs here in this country. It is serious, and it is rampant. And it's for that reason that I made human trafficking a priority for the Department of Justice. And we looked at implementing new measures, dedicating more resources, partnering with state and local officials, doing everything that we could to address this problem. But in the end, the Department of Justice only has 100,000 employees. Defeating human trafficking requires the assistance or cooperation of state and local law enforcement officials like the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and working with organizations like the Women's Funds. And so I'm delighted to be here today to lend my voice to this effort. Many people believe that human trafficking flourishes in the shadows, but in reality, victims hide in plain sight. And I think this hotline and the efforts of the groups that are represented here today are going to make a big difference for the people of Tennessee. And I applaud the people that are here today and encourage people to take advantage of the resources that are being announced here today as well.
Thank you, Ann. I can remember back in 2010 when Representative Coley and Senator Overby and the General Assembly commissioned the TBI to conduct a study regarding human trafficking. And Assistant Special Agent in Charge Margie Gwyn began to work on that. In 2011, early 2011, she brought that study to my desk, and I began to read it. And I was amazed and astonished at what I was reading. 85% of the counties in the state reported that there was a human trafficking case in their county. I was amazed that law enforcement felt they weren't adequately trained in identifying human trafficking, which told me that probably that report was underreported. So I immediately called Margie in my office, and I looked at her and I said, "Margie, we got work to do." And one of the first initiatives I was hoping to start was a training program for first responders, and we've done that. To date, we've trained over 3,500 first responders in this state to identify and recognize human trafficking. We distributed over 20,000 resource and identification cards. So I think we're well on our way. And today, the next big step, I feel, is the hotline. Any hotline, whether it be human trafficking, whether it be our 1-800 TBI fine, which we use for Amber Alerts, is only effective if the public knows about it and if the public uses it. And this hotline, this human trafficking hotline, can be such a tool on a lot of different levels. It can be a tool for the victims who need a lifeline to resources. And they are truly victims. I'm so glad now we're not treating these people as criminals, because they're not. They're victims. This hotline can be a resource to the public as a one-stop shop to find out information on how to identify, recognize, and report human trafficking cases. And to law enforcement, some of these cases are very difficult to work, and law enforcement needs assistance, and the hotline can provide that. So I'm proud that TBI is a partner in this effort. It's going to take everybody in the state, because this is truly a statewide problem. It's not just a Memphis and an urban area problem. As the report verified, it's an entire Tennessee problem, also in the rural areas of this state.